we got ourselves Farouk over on the team 2. We are missing one person over for team 2. Hopefully they'll get a +1 sometime soon. Farouk is an arms warrior as a Necrolord banner, rocking everything. Duran as a Shadow Priest is going to have to find some kind of CC, some kind of damage versus Farouk. Going to be the quick reflect for Farouk with a defensive stance Blade Storm. None of the Void Bolts are hitting him, and Duran might be in a spot where he might have to go for a Disperse. Going to be the stun. Did he go for Void Eruption or did he go for Megalomania Interrupter? And Shadow could be in a real bad spot. Oh my goodness, and Farouk slamming down that massive sword on top of his head. Unfortunate. I think that man got interrupted on Shadow at the worst time. Couldn't even press Disperse. That was rough. It looks like Nemi is going to be up next, sending the pets out immediately. As a BM Hunter going to be charging for Farouk. He either hangs out back with the pets and just takes damage, or he charges out an enemy and tries to make a play. And I think this man knows exactly what he needs to do. Even if he's playing a second when he can't really do much about it. Nemi getting hit with the disarm. Farouk, not a lot of health on him. He's trying to use whatever rage he can in order to give himself a little bit extra of that ignore pain, reflect back into Nemi. Trinkets out of it, gonna be a war breaker as Farouk trying to max out the damage. Nemi is super low in health, and Farouk maybe could have made a play there. But Nemi is going to be able to take him out quick. Blind by the death that is going to be almost winter. Nemi definitely used to summon. Let's go for a Shadow Melt Camo in the last second. Might you go for Turtle Shell? There could be a lot of bursts out of Jesus. And it's going to be knocked down by those Obliterates back to back. I think that we're thinking that, you know what, Mid's going to be hurt, but I probably have enough. Oh, but Jesus just kept ramping and ramping and ramping. And letting that stun carry on normally. Gonna be Fastest up next, trying to get some bleeds out. Look at those beautiful butterfly wings. Are you using shanks? Or broken? You're using broken bottles as a weapon. Just literally shanking Jesus, putting bleeds into him, literally sticking shards of glass into his sides. That's kind of brutal. Big cannon shot onto the Death Knight. Fastest not using any defenses just yet. Just continuing to get back-to-back Envenoms. Just absolutely slicing and dicing right through him. There goes an evasion as Jesus trying to ramp up a little bit of a stun. Fastest not tricking out of it until the last second. Cloak of Shadows to immune some of the frost damage, magic damage out of the Jesus as he goes in for a Lich Born, trying to give himself a little bit of health to work with. Quick blind to Fastest as he goes in for a Death Pact. Fastest Silence could get out of there, is going to vanish out of there scot-free, and Jesus has nothing to heal off of. He could sacrifice the pet as soon as Death Pact is off, and that's probably what he should do. Sitting down, probably get some food from Darley, trying to catch up on feast, which is a good thing. Fastest is going to be all the way on the other side of the pillar, just trying to wait for the dots to fall off, trying to make sure he has the easy approach towards Jesus. Wants to make sure he can then a proper opener. Cheap shot going to be tricking out of the Death Knight with a Silence to follow with a Garrote. As fast as just trying to get the bleeds in. No more Vendetta for a while, actually. Actually, looks like Vendetta was either just used or gone completely. Stun onto Fastest as the flash cut is out for the Death Knight. Fastest trying to see if he can walk out of there, but he might actually be not in a great spot. Blind onto the DK to at least separate, so he does have a way to break away. This is going to be using a flash cut in order to gain back a full shield. Just trying to see if he might be able to get next to Jesus. That flash cut is going to let him catch a full reset, even if he's dotted. The flash cut is going to let him stealth around even when dots are ticking and stay in stealth, scot-free, hidden from sight. Kidney shot onto the Death Knight. No, waits for the DK to deal with this. Does have AMS for some of the poison damage from Jesus, but that's about it. Has himself big damage coming up. Then it's going to be Pillar of Frost, potentially blind or most of winter. And Fastest, unless he just survives this burst, I don't think he has a way to deal with this. Might want to pre-feint this if possible. Going to be a full stun by the Death Knight. Chopping right through the Rogue. Does the Rogue have an answer? Silence to follow. Grippy hand on him. Shadow step and pass him into a kid shot. But I think he's going to get ripped right back in. And that's going to be Jesus not sending the stun long at all. Getting out of there. Taking the Rogue down. And Kikek is going to be... Your name is so hard to say. Kikek. If I said the full thing the whole time, I feel like that'll be so difficult. Kick is going to be up next. There's going to be a wall really early on as he takes himself a big old gateway. Corruption! Oh, you putting corruption on the guy? Are you playing like a down build or something? Gonna be a, what? Oh, it's gonna be dropping down. I was thinking for a second that looked like a void eruption out of the Shadow Priest, but it's actually like a port where Warlock can actually throw the enemy into wherever the gateway is at. Quick blind control of those pets, and Jesus backing up out of there, looking for the line of sight. Get an axe toss from afar with a tyrant, blasting him out. AMS, actually not even AMS, that's actually just a spell warden, blocking and absorbing some of that magic damage that's flying at him. You just get a barrage of spells behind the pillar. Has opportunity to generate resources, maybe get himself a bit of healing. Quick blind on all those pets. That Felguard is unable to really attack him while blinded. But Pitcack is going to see the Death Knight recover a lot of health, sending out more Demon Doggers at him. The best Jesus can do is just generate resources behind the pillar. Probably should be going out in the open. Kick does have an interrupt. I don't know why Jesus decided to line us at the pets here. Forgot about Warlock completely. He was more focused on the pets rather than the lock himself. Gonna be Decimate Bolt getting set up. No interrupt. Silence in the last second, but I think Kick still did get that Decimate Bolt off. Gonna be the Dark Pack for Kick. Does he have himself a huge setup maybe? Potentially big Decimated Bolts with Demon Doggos. Could be huge. Jesus just getting back-to-back CC with stuns and silences onto Kick. Interrupt him on Demon Bolt. Does he have the big setup? I'm pretty sure he sent out a Decimated Bolt unless I'm wrong. Did this man Decimated Bolt earlier or not? There go. Yes, he did. Big Demon Bolts. Stun, another Demon Bolt. He just needs one more. Jesus does activate IBF. That IBF might be enough to keep himself alive here. Interrupt and Kick yet again. Just not letting him play the game at all. Blind onto Kick. This is going to try to set up a big grippy hand. Maybe a Remorseless Winter on top of it. AMS is immune to all the casts. Could get stunned up by the pet. It's going to be turned up for Kick as he goes in for a big gateway. Trying to set up another Decimated Bolt, but the stun with Remorseless Winter just doesn't let him do anything. And Boss is going to be back behind. Oh, I like a mock change. Mohawk and everything. Trying to set up a Decimated Bolt versus Jesus. Quick interrupt by the Death Knight, though, not letting the Warlock go anywhere. Silence with a Mortal Coil onto Jesus with a quick fear. Does yoink him back over. Decimated Bolt still gonna fly, and Demon Bolts are just gonna rack right through him. One more is needed, but it looks like Jesus is just going for death strikes as soon as he gets hit. Mohanda go down, charging in. Demon Tyrant is going to be up and running. Balls did have to burn a wall just to make sure the Tyrant is going to be out and play. And that's going to be a lot of pet damage for Jesus to deal with. Has himself lots of runic power. Death Pet coming up very, very soon. Is going to sacrifice the pet by the looks of it. Ball is just trying to give himself a bit of opportunity to survive here. Blind. No Remorseless Winter. Does have the big grippy hand. Boss is to get the hell away from the grippy hand as fast as possible. Is going to go for a port just so he can give himself movement speed. And Jesus with an IBF trying to recover whatever health he can. Getting a little bit of healing. Mortal Coil sent at him. Decimated Bolt not going to connect. There's going to be an interrupt. Jesus getting stunned up. Another Decimated Bolt attempt. Does he have the big Demon Bolts to follow? Trying to do what he can. Sound trinkets out of it just to blast the Death Knight out of the game. And Boss is still under pressure as Darley not going to give him opportunity to recover. He's just going to send him from frying pan into the rest of the kitchen. And Boss is still under pressure. Just trying not to get frozen up. The pets are going to get CC, but Darley, pets are actually doing quite a bit of damage to Darley. Look at his health. Got himself a tipping cup for Kyrian. Ballas does get a recovery with a flesh cap. There's going to be some spells exchanged with one another. Darley trying to see if he might be able to get a frozen orb back. As the pets are getting hit with that blizzard, gonna be that ice block. Looking for that health recovery. Dampening is at 27%. He needs whatever health he can in order to be able to beat Ballas. He needs to go for the full setup. He needs to generate resources, generate procs, go for the Kyrian setup. Make sure he doesn't get interrupted with a Felguard that can stun you and interrupt you. With a Warlock who can stun you, Mortal Coil you, Fury you. So it's a lot of things you got to do in order to try to see if you can beat Ballas. Ballas did do a bit of recovery. Darley with an alter time. He's actually pretty safe right now. Trying to drop down a Blizzard. Ballas is going to walk up. There's opportunity for him to land some in here. Quick fear onto Darley. He has all the time to recover in health. And Ball's trying to set up a Decimated Bolt. No interrupt by Darley just yet. That shield, the triple shield, triple berry is just going to get burned through from the Decimated Bolt. Full burst out of Ballas. Getting some damage to Darley. Darley does activate ice form, so he's immune to stuns. Trying to get a frozen orb. Blizzard around the corner. Trying to get some procs. Blink it twice away from Ballas with a shimmer. With a Shadow Melt to try to get himself a reset. Looks like he's going to be focusing down the Felguard pet first to make sure that pet isn't there to stun him or interrupt him. If he can rip that pet away from Ballas, then he might be able to stand a 1-on-1 versus the Warlock. Because the Warlock with all his pets, I mean, he has an advantage. The Demon Doggos, the second Felguard, Wrathguard joining in there. Darley just getting absolutely decimated in that Iceberg, going for as much recovery as he can, trying to see if he might be able to prolong the duel. Interrupted on Frost, which is good. Now he might be able to make a play. Interrupted Ballas is only interrupted on Frost, not on Arcane. Ballas is going to get CC'd for a second. He's still holding on to the Flesh Cap though. As the Flesh Cap is in just a few moments, just a few more hits, is finally going to take a little bit of a beating. Darley just trying to play it as best as he can. Another Blizzard on the pet, trying to keep it controlled as best as possible. Big Decimated Bolt set up. Darley's going to take big damage out of those next few hits. Better have alter time for it. Definitely needs to have alter time. Trying to see if he can shimmer around, get a couple Frostbolts versus Ballas, but trying to make sure he doesn't get blasted by him at all. Frostbolts on the pets. Again, trying to get some resources, trying to get some flurries, trying to get some kind of procs, anything. Invis, but Ballas is already on trying to put as much pressure on the Darley and does end up taking him out with a final blast of that Demon Bolt. With a Demon Hunter 10 show. As the last one, can Balls somehow return? Can Balls come back for the team? 11 minutes, 30 seconds into the duel. Stun to Balls. Shoots out of immediately. Is going to be able to land inside Tencho. Tencho with a Mortal Coil. Get himself full defense. Is going to be Mortal Coil with a fear onto the Death Demon Hunter. It's going to say Death for some reason. Tyrant joining in. Tencho needs to get stunned out in the open. The Tyrant needs to make sure he has line of sight to blast out the Demon Hunter. Blurs up, and Tencho is going to have a demon of his own proccing in. Should be able to slay the demon in case he needs healing or damage. Balls just trying to avoid him as best as possible. Maybe he's waiting for a stun later versus Tencho. He needs to get a Decimate Bolt versus Tencho at some point. Mortical, I don't know when that's going to be up. Tencho better slay the demon before he goes away. Essentially, just I can't up to Balls just yet. He better slay the demon in order to get some health. But 43% dampening, he's going to lose out. Tencho's got a low in health. Stunned up, Trick out immediately with a stun to Balls. Another demon joins in. This man is just getting a load of demons back to back. He's going to slay that one. Wall for Ballas. Does he have a Mortal? Going to be a Fell Lord trying to see if he can knock down Tencho. Tencho backing up out of there. Going to be a Fleshcraft for Ballas. Just trying to give himself whatever heal he can. Ports away from Tencho. Going to be a Fleshcraft up for him. And Tencho is going to be immune to CC for a second. Needs to get over there. ASAP. Still full Metamorphosis rolling. Ballas has no health whatsoever. Maybe a Mortal would give him a break. He needs a Mortal right now. He needs a Mortal Coil before he gets stunned up, so maybe you're trying to wait for the pet stun with a Mortal Coil, get a full CC chain into Tencho, letting the pets crack through a Fleshcraft. Boss had no health whatsoever. At some point, he's going to have to turn around and just Mortal Coil him. Maybe now it's time to do it. Stun, going to be a stun back. Ballas, does he have a Mortal Coil to separate? He has a port. He needs a Mortal Coil right now. He's just trying to survive, trying to live as best as he can. He's trying to live his best life right now. He's just running circles and cap. This Demon Hunter has a stun to follow. I-beam into a Mortal Coil. Lands himself a fear, maybe a big Decimated Bolt, does himself a big Tyrant. This way you go for the Tyrant to the biggest go. Looks at Tencho, backing up onto the drop in darkness. Ballas has an opportunity. He has the range. He needs to get the Tyrant rolling. And as soon as Tencho out in the open, big Decimated Bolts. He has so much pressure on the guy. Tencho just pokes his head out. Ballas had himself a good snipe. He has the range. He has maximum range. He might be able to get him one Decimated Bolt. Huge Tencho super low in health. Under pressure by the Tyrant and the Felguard by themselves. Unless Tencho gets a summon to Ballas. It might be over. Tencho needs line of sight. He's not worried about Ballas, though. Might not be in a good spot. Ballas should have himself some more Decimated Bolts. If he has another instant cast, Tencho is done for. Oh my god, this is so close. It's stunned, Decimated Bolt, and this man just lives it. Look at this man's glorious mustache, his glorious mohawk, his small stature, but his big heart. To keep fighting in the duel, back to back to back. That was so close. That could have been anyone's game. That game could have been anyone's game just now. Anybody's. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, bro.